Hi, and welcome back. It's been quite a while. In the meantime, my streaming setup, well, not my streaming setup, my recording setup broke, which is interesting. So, anytime I have to record everything right now from the built in internal screen capture in Chrome OS. If I use any application or any extension that uses the Chrome browser, the audio is just incredibly distorted, so it's completely unusable. But only if I use a microphone and the internal audio at the same time. But yeah, or if I actually, it's kind of weird. Like if I play back audio, it's like maybe there's some sort of built-in noise canceling that came with an update. It's kind of weird because it should be, if it is an update, it should be for the entire system and not just for a browser. In any case, we're just trying. I'm just trying my best now. Okay, let me see. Oh, May 6th. That was the last one? Really? Well, I tried that one earlier, but yeah. Guess that's the last one.
Do you remember where we were?
I do not.
Kind of. But remind me a little?
Okay. I was after the secret of Monkey Island, and I decided that the easiest path to the island was to sign on to crew on the Chuck ship. I would mount a mutiny at some convenient time. There were two problems. I needed a mop to get the job, and they knew who I was. Now, back to the story.
There we go. So let me see what my inventory has.
Especially fortified for the Healthy Parrot diet. Pirate Times, editor Conrad Lee, ready to publish your unrecognized genius.
Okay, so I made a bit of space on my Chromebook. I've got 20 gigs. I hope that's enough. Haven't played a modern game in a while. I actually recently got an Amiga 1000, which I'm going to use for the development of Ocean Frill Murder Mystery, which is a game I'm working on together with my girlfriend. And a friend of mine, although he has less of an input because he's a musician, so we'll see where we can fit him in. But yeah, it's an interactive fiction with some graphics, maybe some sound. It's releasing on retro platforms and modern platforms. It's being developed mainly for Amiga, but also Atari ST, C64, C128, Amstrad CPC, DOS, Linux, Windows, Mac OS. Modern Mac OS, unfortunately, we don't have a port yet for the interpreter for the classic Macs, which I do want eventually. It's our first game, but it's gonna be awesome. Like it will have a really nice retro box and stuff. So.
Hi.
Everybody thinks they know more than the other.
Okay.
Here's a note.
The note says, forced to close. Thanks for the memories, but cash would have been better.
Weird graffiti.
Looks like a volcano island with horns that swallowed a basketball. The note says, forced to close. Thanks for the memories, but cash would have been better.
Wow, a lot has changed. Let's go into the alleyway where the second one ended. Oh, is that Stan? Kind of looks like Stan, but it's a circus.
It seems to be stuck closed.
Yeah, that's where the second one ended, basically. That used to be an elevator. Of course, we don't yet really know what's going on, because that part has not been explained yet, if I'm not mistaken.
Elaine?
Guybrush! Wait, are you going to tell a mushy part now?
A little, but I can skip over the hugs and kisses. Elaine!
Guybrush!
Scurvy Prevention Project, only to Monkey Island. Remind me how long we've been married. hopefully not. I was hoping you'd turn up in this story. How romantic.
I was hoping you'd turn up in this story.
I was hoping you'd turn up in mine.
How's your scurvy prevention project?
It's great! We're going to get a lot of lines to a lot of sailors and save a lot of lives. I've got to come up with a way to deal with Captain Madison, though. The pressure she's putting on the town is making it hard for social programs like mine.
Sounds like we both met Captain Madison.
I don't like her. She's the one who pushed to shut down the shipyard.
She doesn't understand the value of the secret of Monkey Island.
She laughed at me.
Me too.
Obviously, the woman has no taste and a lousy sense of humor.
You won't believe how I'm getting to Monkey Island.
I've known you a long time. Try me.
I'm planning to sign on to LeChuck's crew, mutiny them, and take the ship.
Oh, dear. Isn't there an easier way?
Oh, trust me, that is the easy way. I feel better just talking to you.
Me too.
Do we want to polite? Oh, we want to be polite, I guess.
You've probably got to get going.
You say goodbye first.
No, you say bye 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 first.
This is more like the first one and the second one.
No, you say bye first.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
The overlays are probably visible this time. So at least we're gonna see, or I don't know, actually we don't. No, the overlays aren't visible either because I had to. It's so weird, like, it does not allow me to record full screen. It will flicker like hell. So I have to record just the window because I think it's a compositor that comes with it. It's something that's not quite compatible. I don't know if there's like a hack for Crostini for Chrome OS. Regardless, let's further explore.
It's Elaine's flyer about how limes combat scurvy. It's important, but boring. I've never once made it all the way to the end. Elaine would kill me if she caught me pulling down her flyers.
Criticize the
The
statue.
problem with this statue is it's not a statue of Elaine, the best ever governor of Melee. The problem with this statue is it's not a statue of Elaine. It doesn't look finished.
So that's the House of Mojo. Even the House of Mojo is going out of business.
It's going out of business? This place is an institution. They're having a half-off sale. Well, the voodoo here must be authentic, culturally, and historically accurate. The sign says so.
It's interesting how this whole place has progressed in a way. I'm not sure I like the perspective because it looks smaller. The whole street looks smaller than it is in the first one.
Property foreclosed by order of Madison Enterprises. Oh, this was my favorite novelty store.
There's the mobs and more. So this is interesting. I actually saw, I kind of watched a, first of all, I know there's like 10 endings. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of ending we're going to get. Guess I'll have to play through this game the whole 10 times. Yay. Never gets boring. For real, never gets boring. But I like it. But I don't like not knowing which ending I will get, but whatever. But yeah, I watched a stream of, which one was it? I think it was Conversations with Curtis, which is kind of my favorite stream. I hope eventually they will feature my game on there as well, even though it's a graphical text adventure. They play a lot of games, and the guy who runs the channel is the guy who played Curtis in Phantasmagoria 2, and Sierra's Phantasmagoria 2. So that's kind of cool. I love watching him play these games. Unfortunately, he didn't finish Curse of Monkey Island, because apparently there weren't enough people watching that one. I might actually play Curse of Monkey Island maybe tonight if I get bored of this one. Regardless, what he did is he didn't go to that shop first. What he did, he went to the cook, and the cook told him to build a mob. It was sort of like a allegory of typical LucasArts allegory, kind of based on Star Wars, like the whole lightsaber thing. Everybody has, you can't buy a lightsaber, you have to build one yourself. That was kind of the whole spiel with the mob. I don't know if that's worth a different ending. We'll see.
Hey, Wally.
Since I'm here.
Well, look what the surf washed ashore. It's Guybrush Threepwood.
Nice to see you again too, Wally. Whatever your last name is.
I spent years in therapy getting over being burned, blinded, blown up, abandoned and marooned because of you.
Yeah, good times, huh?
You're lucky I'm past all that and am running the best map shop within the Caribbean and beyond.
Oh wait, that's a map shop, not a mob. I thought I read mob shop.
I'm looking for a mop.
This is maps and more, not mops and more.
Well, I was hoping the more might include mops.
Well, it doesn't. Try asking the cook over at the bar where he got his.
Okay, now I kind of spoiled it. Oh well.
You wouldn't happen to have a map to the secret of Monkey Island.
Funny you should ask. I recently made one on commission, but then they destroyed all my source material. It is the only one in existence. Best of luck to you.
I'm looking for a map through the forest.
What are you trying to find in the forest?
I don't know. Nothing in particular.
Then having a map won't really be any different than wandering around lost, will it?
Yeah, but, well, never mind. You have a lot of maps in here.
We've got so many, you need a map to find them all. A little cartographer humor.
Yeah, I'd forgotten how funny it was. Looks like the shop across the way is in trouble.
The high-stakes, ego-driven world of pirating is changing, and dark magic is taking over. Voodoo magic is fun and all.
Whoops.
But it's not what
Oops.
the new generation wants.
Never mind, my bad.
I'm on the bleeding edge and making a bundle. I'm about to franchise.
The town seems to be pretty run down.
Since Captain Madison made Melee her base of operations, people have been complaining. They say she brings a bad element to town, but that bad element spends a lot of money on maps. So, what am I supposed to do?
Do what's right?
I am. I'm doing what's right for Wally.
It's great to see you landed on your feet after all these years.
Business has been booming with all these new dark magic pirates. Captain Madison has me on a lucrative retainer. She pays extra for a bunch of wacky symbols I just make up.
I'll let you get back to cartography.
That's not a real word.
Uh-huh.
Okay, just a sec. I'm gonna pause here for a sec. I'm not leaving my desk. I just want to check something. Okay, here we go again. I was just checking. I'm actually waiting for something really cool. So it's called a Parcero 2 and a Parcero Accelerator. And what it is, it's a bunch of devices by David Dunkley, who is the former CIO of the U.S. Space Force. And he is a really nice guy, and he sold me, he gave me the accelerator for free as a kind of like beta testing, I guess, and then I got the Parcero too. And what it is, it's like a couple devices for the Amiga 1000. It comes with the ability to just have multiple kickstart ROMs in there. You can just switch. You just flip a switch, and then it like automatically gets you to the operating system to different Workbench or Amiga OS versions.
It's maps wrapped in maps. I didn't know you could do that.
I've done that before. I'm an avid collector of maps and posters as well. And yeah, it's like you get like a little sort of like an SSD or a hard drive. You have like a 32 gigabyte SD card.
They're like glasses, only way less convenient. Look behind you, a three-headed monkey.
Oh, please take one. I use them to promote my business. See, it says maps and more on the edge.
Thanks.
It's weird, you can't even steal anymore, like in the previous games. But yeah, then you also have 8 megabytes of RAM, of fast RAM expansion, which doesn't sound like a lot. Megabytes, not gigabytes. 8 megabytes. Doesn't sound like a lot, but for an old Amiga from 1985, it's pretty sweet. And yeah, and then he got me an accelerator, which I believe is 28 megahertz, 68,000. Quite an upgrade from the original 7 megahertz. So I'm really excited when that arrives soon. That's apparently it already arrived in Frankfurt tonight. So it's gonna be here quite soon. It's gonna be awesome.
Wally, can I have one of these maps?
Absolutely. If you pay for it.
Never mind.
And it's gonna be, I love the Amiga 1000. I've wanted one for 25 years, and I finally got one. I'm gonna play Monkey Island 1 and 2 on there, even though the second one is not quite the best version compared to DOS.
This must be Trouser Island.
Actually, Mr. Threepwood, it's...
Yep, Trouser Island. I had a map like this once, but I sailed left. That looks like a treacherous voyage. It says, rating, Cursed Black Diamond. The first rule of piracy is, never buy a used treasure map. Hey Wally, what's with the window ladder?
I use it to keep an eye on the neighbors.
Well, it's good to have a hobby. Hey Wally, what's in these boxes?
Maps.
Ooh, this one looks nice. How much is it?
Oh, that one? Too much.
It looks expensive. And shiny. I like shiny. Good old mazes. Can't get enough mazes. Huh, never seen one of those before.
But yeah, I got boxes and boxes of floppies right now, and once I have the Parcero, I'll be able to just copy that stuff over to the SD card, turn it into ADF disk images, and not touch these floppies for a while or ever, which is nice. I'm also going to try and install 3.2 on there. Already got a copy. Just kind of... I mean, the nice thing is I don't have to like socket in kickstart ROMs, which is kind of tough because the Amiga 1000 doesn't have socketed kickstart ROMs by default, so you'd have to like modify the main board. So the Parcero is kind of nice because it has all of that in an external flash ROM, in a 2 megabyte flash ROM. So that's awesome.
I try to steer clear of sea monsters myself.
But yeah, right now I'm only playing mostly Infocom games on there because I really like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and whatchamacallit, something Witch. Witchstone? I don't know how I forgot the name because it's my favorite, but right now it's by Brian Moriarty, the same guy who made Loon. Yeah. it's too hot in here for some reason. I can't think straight. Can still think straight enough to play an adventure game though.
I didn't know you made globes too.
I don't. This is for reference. It's got all the latest continents.
It's a long, small map of somewhere far, far away. Ooh, looks chilly up there. Ooh, those look fancy.
The finest tools to make the finest maps.
And yeah, as soon as I got the Parcero, I can also test my my software right on the Amiga. Right now, I'm mostly using emulation. I'm using dpaint.js is what it's called. It's a great website. It's kind of like a modernized version of Deluxe Paint, and it has like an inbuilt emulation what it would actually look like on an OCS, ECS Amiga. But once I got my Parcero, I'll be able to just draw straight to the Amiga 1000 and see what it looks like on a 1084S monitor, CRT monitor. So that's gonna be awesome. I'm really a fan of retro. And the whole point of my first game, and I kind of want to continue that trend, is I want to make games that run on every hardware for every budget level. So it would be absolutely amazing to me if we could have a game running. And at some point I want to make it a point-and-click adventure. So that would be awesome if we could make that running on a classic Amiga or Atari ST, but also on modern hardware, and like maybe upgrade some of the graphics, or maybe make a remake later with better graphics. Yeah, like I might actually do for Ocean Frill Murder Mystery, because we don't have interpreters for a lot of systems like Apple II, Apple Macintosh 68K, or ZX Next. Actually, we do have one for ZX Next, but it's not as good as the one I have planned for. Dreamcast, a lot of systems. So eventually, once I'm done with Ocean Frill Mystery and Murder Mystery, I would actually work on. Oh, there's a little mouse or rat. Once I'm done with it, I might make a remake for these other platforms and just adapt all the graphics and all the text and put it into a completely different interpreter. I do have the tools for that, which I'm open sourcing, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Okay, here we are, Scummer. Now let's play for a bit, I guess. I'll talk a lot about game design. Oh yeah, I've got a Kick account now, but since I can't use my browser to record or stream anything because the audio doesn't work correctly, I unfortunately cannot stream tonight on Kick or YouTube. I actually got Restream installed, which is pretty nice. Maybe I find like an app that works on here, so I can just skip the browser part. I'm using Restream, and my Restream account is connected to YouTube and Kick. So if I do stream on Restream, it's gonna be automatically streamed on YouTube and Kick as well. So that's kind of nice, I guess. Okay, let's go back to Scumbar. And I'm not sure we've actually talked to Cobb yet. So I remember we picked up a card here. I don't think we actually talked to Cobb. It's gonna save the game, I guess.
Yar.
Trivia book. So this is also interesting. If we do actually fail a trivia, it's getting deleted from the game world. It's not getting put back. You don't get a second chance. So you really have to be sure about solving those. And I want to solve all the trivia because I'm not sure, but I think maybe it has something to do with getting full completion. So I want to make sure. I didn't even see the pirate there. Interesting.
Hi, Cobb. Hard to believe after all these years you're still here.
I was declared a historical landmark.
Tell me about Loom.
Tell me about Loom.
Oh, I'm so sick of pirates asking me about Loom. Get lost.
Well, why don't you take off the Ask Me About Loom button?
Then why don't you take off the Ask Me About Loom button?
My grog-riddled body is fused with it. I'm more button than man at this point.
I'm not sure, but I think it says don't in red.
Oh, come on. Tell me about Loom. For old time's sake.
Beat it.
Say it.
No.
Say it.
Fine. You mean the latest masterpiece of fantasy storytelling from Lucasfilm's Brian Moriarty? Why, it's an extraordinary adventure with an interface of magic, stunning, high-resolution 3D landscapes, sophisticated score, and musical effects. Not to mention the detailed animation and special effects, elegant point-and-click control of characters, objects, and magic spells. Beat the rush. Go out and buy Loom today.
Yes.
Now get lost.
I actually pre-ordered my copy on Limited Run Games. Right now oh, and I got a convinced cop to tell you about Loom. That's cool. I got a little achievement. That's cool. I wish I had these on. I'm really a kind of a collector when it comes to achievements popping up. I love them in my videos. Right now it doesn't work. Maybe with my new streaming setup soon. Because I'm probably going to use my external hardware again soon. It's just a bit of a hassle to set up right now. I need to repair my Mac Mini or use another computer. Because I think something is wrong with the fan of the Mac Mini. Actually having issues with my fan as well for the Amiga 1000. But I'm told that's because it's a machine that is older than I am. But yeah, I pre-ordered Loom on Limited Run Games. They have a remake, so not a remake, a remaster. I wish they remake the game or made a sequel. Maybe at some point. I don't know. I know Brian Moriarty is a professor now. I forgot which university, but he's teaching game design because when I was running my Kickstarter campaign for Ocean Thrill, he was one of the people I emailed. Ron Gilbert was another. I think I forgot emailing Tim Schafer and a couple other people. Although I emailed, he actually got back to me. But yeah, I know he works as a professor, but maybe one day he'll go back to game design, or somebody else will work on it using the original script. It would be awesome. If there's just like a sequel or a remake, it would be really cool.
Yeah, the place does seem different from what I remember.
It's this new, younger generation of pirate leaders. Oh, they're highfalutin dark magic. Look at us. We're so much better than you because we don't drink grog before getting married. These kids today are all about sacking and pillaging. They've got no heart.
Okay, cool. That is true, probably.
I'm gonna find the secret of Monkey Island. Wanna come?
I heard the secret is just some marketing gimmick Stan thought up. That only the gullible and naive would go looking for it.
I kind of wonder
Nice talking to you.
Yeah.
how far in the future this is from the second one.
It's those three clowns at the back table.
Because it's definitely not well, it's supposed to be a direct sequel, and I do know that they didn't retcon Curse of Monkey Island, so Curse is still part of the canon, so...
Guybrush Threepwood, as I live and breathe, how have you been?
Same old, same old.
How's Elaine? She was always my favorite governor. Also, she covered your tab when you stopped coming in.
here on the island.
Well, of course, she came with you.
No, I didn't even know she'd be here.
Oh, well, tell her I say hello.
Those new pirate leaders seem like real jerks. Why do you even let them in the bar?
Well, they've driven off my old regulars, so I don't have a lot of choice if I want to stay in business. Also, if I tried to get them to leave, they'd probably cut me up and throw me in the soup. Frankly, I'm terrified of them. On the plus side, they have more disposable income and better hygiene than the old crowd.
I kind of like the graphical effects, like the kind of like projection mapping. I don't know if that's what you call it, but it's kind of nice, like the way the fire. It's kind of like in the original, because the original games also set standards when it came to graphical effects. Like Mark Ferrari did a lot of stuff like color cycling, and yeah, that wasn't done before, or divering. So it's nice to see they're kind of pushing the envelope still.
The atmosphere in the bar is different than it used to be.
Yeah, I don't like it, but I've got to cater to the new crowd. Everything changes, Guybrush.
But the roaches stay the same.
I've missed your wit. And your low alcohol tolerance.
Hey. Do you know where I can buy a mop?
Buy? You don't want to buy a mop.
I think I do.
The mop is the formal
There we go.
tool of a cook. Not as clumsy or random as a dish rag. An elegant tool for a more civilized cleaning. You cannot hope to succeed with the mop of another.
I can't?
You must construct your own. A single, perfect instrument that you will keep and use for a lifetime.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Once you build it, the mop will become your constant companion, your tool, and a ready means of defense against spills of all kinds.
Build it?
The wood is the heart of the handle. The heart is the handle of the cook. You are one.
Not helpful so far.
You must find a particular tree. A tree uniquely suited to the handles of mops. Carve your handle from a limb of that tree. Any questions?
Some of the close-ups, I know they're not related. I know the guy didn't work on it, but some of the close-ups kind of remind me of Paradigm, which is such an underrated adventure game. If you haven't checked it out, you really should. Jacob Janerka, I think, was the name of the developer and the artist. I kickstarted it years ago, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I never played through it because personal stuff got in the way, personal business. I might finish it this year. Might even upload it on YouTube. But yeah, that game was awesome, and the guy is awesome too. Like, he actually tried to create a game. God, my brain is melting. It's too odd. Was it Frasier? What's the series called? Give me a sec. Seinfeld, that's the one. He was working on a Seinfeld fan game, and they had made a nice trailer. But the Seinfeld people are kind of weird. Like David is weird, and Seinfeld himself, the guy is weird. They didn't like it. They shut it down really quick, which is a shame because it kind of looked great. But yeah, Jacob Janerka. He's apparently Australia's most mysterious game developer. And the guy is talented as hell. Like, I wish I could make a game with him one day, because his art style is awesome, and I think I have so many ideas for my own game with that kind of art style. I'm more of a pixel artist myself, but his art style is fantastic.
What kind of wood is the tree?
That is something you must discover for yourself.
How do I find the mop handle tree?
I can't tell you exactly where it is, because this is your own personal journey.
Remind me how to find the mop handle tree?
I can't tell you exactly where it is, because this is your own personal journey.
Okay.
What about the head of the mop?
Oh, you have to have one, of course, but pretty much anything will do. It's mostly about the handle.
Are you sure I can't just buy a mop? Yours, for example.
No, you've got to make one. Trust me on this.
What kind of wood did you say the tree was?
I didn't.
Okay, guess I'll do it. What's wrong?
You gave the story the wrong title. It should be called Mop Quest. When do we get to the piratey parts?
Well, even the coolest professions involve more mopping up than you would think. It seemed crazy to me at the time, too. But don't forget, it was all so I could board a ship, take command, and sail to Monkey Island. But first, I had to make a mop.
Okay. So, I'm gonna take a break here. I don't like making videos too long, because I'm usually out of memory pretty quickly. So, see you in a couple of minutes.